Hey guys, it's Dean. Welcome to Man Flow Yoga. Welcome to your Guy Yoga bonus routines. This routine is our back pain relief routine. So the way this routine works, we're going to go through both strengthening and stretching. So we're going to work on strengthening the muscles that support the spine. So that's going to help draw tension away from the lower back or the spine. And then we're going to go into stretching the muscles that connect to the spine to further reduce tension in the lower back. You will need a strap for this routine. If you don't have a strap, you can also use a belt, a rope, or a dog leash. All right, let's get straight into it. So I'm gonna have you start on your back. And the first thing we're gonna do is just kind of pull your knees in toward your shoulders. Keep your lower back flat on the ground. You can bring your hands to the tops of your knees and tighten your abs as you pull your belly button down. Again, keeping the back flat on the ground. So this is going to help you straighten your spine. What we tend to do during the day is rounding the back. So I want you to keep your back flat on the ground. Maybe tuck your chin in toward your throat a little bit more than you usually would. And again, just lightly pull the knees up toward the shoulders while keeping your lower back flat on the ground. Deep breaths in and out of your nose while squeezing your abs. So just kind of working on getting those muscles in your core working. Again, that's going to help draw pressure away from the low back. All right, now single leg reverse crunches. Grab your right knee with both hands. Bring your left leg straight out in front of you. Now you might want to start with it higher off the ground. If it doesn't hurt, you can bring that leg lower toward the ground, kind of to hover about 6 inches off the ground. So now we're strengthening your core a little bit more actively. And then you can go ahead and switch sides. So bring your left knee in, bring the right leg out. Again, start it up high and then bring it lower. Over time, you can get it lower without as much warm up, but you might have to start high for now. And then again, switch. So we're just spending 5 to 10 seconds per side on this dynamic single leg reverse crunch, or chest or thigh to chest, whatever you want to call this. Again, one more each side. So just kind of a relaxing core exercise, actively releasing tension from the lower back. And then bring both legs in toward your chest once more. And now bring your knees over your hips. Push your hands into your thighs. Pretend like you're holding something between your thighs. So squeeze your inner thighs toward one another while pushing your hands into your thighs back into your hands, and your neck is relaxed on the ground. Push as hard as you can for 10 seconds. So really focusing on the hip flexors here and your transverse abdominals. That's the deep layer of muscle tissue that makes up your abdominal wall. And then relax. Bring your arms out to the sides. And from here, moving into a reclined twist. So bring your legs over toward the right. Try to get your hips facing all the way to the right. If your left shoulder comes off the ground a little bit, that's okay. Bring your right hand on top of your left knee. Look straight up at the ceiling. And then drive your left knee, the outside of your left knee, into your right hand while keeping your abs tight and trying to open up your chest to face up. So we are working on strengthening your core here, but also on stretching your spine. We've got a nice twist going on, so we are simultaneously strengthening your body and also reducing tension in the body at the same time. So this is a really cool, not a compound, but a very cool movement that satisfies or has multiple purposes, is what I'm trying to say. Deep breaths. And this is one of the go-to stretches that I use for anybody who's experiencing low back pain or back pain in general. All right, now go ahead and switch. So bring your legs back to the middle. Bring your legs all the way over to the left now. Again, hips now face to the left. Left hand goes on top of the right knee. Reach your right arm out to the right. Pull your ribs down. So don't let your chest puff out. I want you to pull your right rib cage down to the floor. And again, looking straight up at the ceiling. If you want to get a little bit more of a twist here, you can look all the way over to the right. That's going to add a little bit more of a neck mobility element to this. And now pushing your right knee into your left hand. That's going to help add a little more strength or active strength building element to this. And that's going to help further reduce tension. So the theme for this workout so far is building strength while as a way to kind of reduce tension. One more breath here. All right, and then back to the middle. Last strengthening pose here. Plant your feet in front of your hips. Make sure that your toes are facing straight forward. Squeeze your butt muscles. Pull your heels toward your shoulders. And now drive your hips up toward the ceiling. Keep your chest drawn in. Don't puff your chest out. Don't use your spine to lift. Use your core. Use your hips. Use your thighs here. Legs squeeze toward one another. Butt muscles are squeezing. Again, pulling your shoulders forward using your heels, and you can bring your arms along your sides or straight out to the outsides laterally. Keep your chin relaxed, again, focusing on your abs, your glutes, and your thighs. Squeeze your butt muscles as much as you can. Take a couple more breaths here. Exhale, you can drive up a little bit higher. And this is a really good one to relieve back pain because it's kind of the opposite of what you do during the day. If you're sitting at a desk, usually our hips are not in this extended position, and also our spine is not in this position. So we're working muscles that get tight and weak while sitting, and also helping to strengthen your core and move your spine. And then go ahead and release down. All right, first kind of stretch here. Cross your right ankle over your left thigh. For a figure four, grab the back of your left thigh, flex your right toes back toward the shin, externally rotate your right hip, so we're turning the right knee to face to the outside. And then just light pressure here to stretch the outer right hip. And this is a really good one for relieving low back pain because low back pain is caused by hip tightness. It's not caused just by back weakness or a lack of strength, but also by tightness in the hips. So this is stretching one of the larger muscles of your body, if not the largest muscle in your body, to help with releasing tension in the back. You can hold this for 30 seconds minimum and up to 60 seconds. All right, let's go ahead and switch sides. So now the left ankle crosses over the right thigh. Grab the back of your right thigh, pull it in. Again, turning the left knee to face out. You shouldn't feel tension in the knee here. Your goal here is to feel a stretch in the outer left hip, kind of in that outer left waist area. And one thing that's cool about this routine is you don't have to do the full routine to get the benefits. It's possible that you just do one or two stretches, or even just one stretch to help with relieving back pain. Pay attention to how the stretches uniquely affect your body, and then you can choose which stretches you want to do with the availability that you have. All right, go ahead and release that, and then we're going to grab the strap and go through some strap stretches here. So I want you to bring the strap around your right foot, aim the right leg straight up in the air, keep your left leg flat on the ground, and pull the strap toward you until you feel stretch through the back of your right thigh. So a hamstring stretch here. Flex your toes down if you want to get a calf stretch out of this as well. I do recommend doing that. And you can work on kind of squeezing the front of your right thigh as you're doing this for a little bit more of release. I'd hold this one for a minimum of 30 seconds and up to 90 seconds if you can. As you exhale, maybe you go a little bit deeper into this. And you can bend your knee here. You don't have to straighten the leg all the way. Straightening the leg will make it more intense, but you can also bend the knee, bring it slightly more forward if it's too tight for you. All right, and then switch sides. So I'm just gonna have you bring your left leg up. Now bring the right leg down. Again, squeeze your left thigh toward your chest. Drive your heel up, reach your toes down. Again, left thigh squeezes toward you, back of the knee presses away from you. And the great thing about stretching your hamstrings is this is a huge factor in lower back pain. So tight hamstrings leads to a tight or pain in the lower back. So this is something that I recommend. If you have tight hamstrings, this is a stretch that I recommend you would do every day. Hold it for at least 60 seconds, up to 90, even 120 seconds. And focus on breathing to go deeper and inhaling to maintain. All right, go ahead and release. We've got one more stretch to help with relieving back pain. That is the lizard. So I'm going to have you flip over onto your chest, bring your right foot outside your right hand, get a block. If you don't have a block, that's okay. You can also place your hand on top of your right thigh. And then lift your chest upright, allow your hips to sink forward, and we're going to get a really nice groin stretch here. So stretching your groin, also stretching through the front of your left hip, your hip flexors. Keep your left toes tucked for a little bit more engagement. And if you have any sensitivity in the knee here, you can put a towel underneath that knee. You can also lift the knee away from the ground entirely. That's going to make this a much more active pose. But you do have options here. If your knee hurts, don't just, let it sit there and hurt. Put a cushion under it or lift it off the ground. Again, minimum of 30 seconds for this stretch, just like the other ones, and you can hold it for up to 90 seconds. All right, let's go ahead and switch. So now left leg comes up, right knee is back. Again, tuck the toes for a little bit more support. Lift your chest upright. Allow your hips to sink forward. So big inhale, get a little taller. Exhale, allow your hips to sink forward. So you're not pushing your hips forward, you're just allowing them to sink forward. If our goal were to increase flexibility, we would add a little bit more of a pushing element to this, but since the goal here is back pain relief, just allow your hips to naturally sink forward. Use your breath to get there. And depending on how your back feels, maybe you lean forward a little bit more, or maybe you lift up a little bit more and get into more extension. So that's kind of up to you. If you've been sitting a lot during the day, I would recommend lifting your chest up. If you're trying to go to sleep, then I would kind of let your chest fall forward a little bit more. All right, and then go ahead and release. So that's it, just a quick little routine for you to use to help relieving back pain. Again, you don't have to do this entire routine. You can pick and choose some of the exercises that we did. The first half was devoted to strengthening your core, and then the second part was focused on stretching the muscles that connect to your spine. So that's a really good combination just in general if you're ever looking to relieve back pain. Again, part strengthening, part stretching. So hope you enjoyed this routine. Hope you found it useful. Again, if you're watching this on the online Guyoga portal, make sure to check out the rest of the resources there. If you're watching this on the DVD, there are some tutorials and the routines here, but there are more online. So make sure to check that out. Again, hope you guys found this useful, and I'll see you on the next video.